Hello, my beautiful friends and gorgeous, radiant souls. This is Reverend Denise Roberge coming to you from One Mind Spiritual Services. And it's been a while since I've done my own YouTube video. I've been very busy and I won't go into vast amounts of detail because that's not what I'm here to talk about today. But I just want to mention that I have a brand new website, brand new business systems, upgraded programming. It's fabulous. And that's what I've been working on for the last 3 months. I haven't had a lot of time to do videos. So here I am. Today's topic is food, vibration, self love, and the issue of weight. So many people are concerned about weight and how they eat and what they eat and how they feel about their bodies and self-image and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. It's a huge issue for everybody, particularly women. I scroll through Facebook and see diet plan after food plan after magic pill after there are so many programs and pills and gummies and whatever to help people lose weight. And all you have to do is click one just because you're curious about what they're doing, and then you get bombarded. You know how that goes. So, because it's in my face every single day, and I have some really strong opinions about um, the whole topic, I thought I would post a video to talk about this. So, first of all, a lot of people are talking about gaining the COVID 15 or the COVID 40 or the need for comfort food because things have been so stressful. And all this is valid. This is true. This is what's happening. People have been turning to food a lot lately. Many people have been in order to just feel safe in their body and to feel grounded. I understand that. Food is a pleasurable, comforting, and grounding experience for the mind body. And I love food. Personally, this is an issue I used to struggle with all the time. I still have extra pounds on me. I just don't struggle anymore. I do something differently. I do some things differently. And I'd like to share some of my ideas about the whole business with you today. As you know, probably, everything is energy, everything is vibration. Food has vibration, and different foods have different vibrations. I am a fan of eating healthy. I think it's the best thing we can do for ourselves. It's a kind, loving, self nurturing activity to choose foods that are healthy. So I'm all for lots of fruits and vegetables, organic. If you're going to eat meat, grass fed, humane, mindful eating. I'm all for whatever foods work for you. There are some people that can't do gluten. Don't do gluten, good for you. You know that, so don't. There are some people that have issues with salt, so they have to cut out salt. Whatever works. I don't have a religion about food, and I'm not here to tell you how to eat. In fact, I'm here to tell you the opposite. I'm here to tell you that you don't even have to think about too much. You don't have to think about what you eat too much. The reason you don't want to think about it too much is because when you think about food, all kinds of feelings and emotions can come up, and all kinds of old tapes, and the shoulds and the woulds and the coulds start bombarding us if we spend too much time in our brain thinking about where our food intake is at, where our weight is at, how we feel when we look in the mirror. It's like it fires us. It's a trigger. It's a trigger. This stuff is all triggering, and it's a vibration that many of us have to learn how to raise. We have to learn how to be in love with ourselves, no matter where we're at with food or weight. And if we have self-image issues, one of the helpful things is to deal with that in whatever way you know how, with a therapist, with a life coach, with a mentor. And I'm calling myself a mentor now, a metaphysical spiritual mentor. Just so you know, if you see my website, it's I'm using the word mentor because it has a nurturing feeling to me, and it has a teachery. It's like it includes teaching. A mentor does do some teaching, as well as guiding, as well as bringing out, helping people bring the best out in themselves. So anyway, let's talk about food. So fresh foods right out of the garden have the highest vibration. Um, deep leafy greens have tons of vibration, and seaweed and all the sea plants. Oh my gosh, they're loaded. They have the sun in them. They have the chlorophyll. They have all the good things, and those are good foods to eat if you can, and when you can. And I know if you're like me, when you're on your game, you're like making quinoa stuffed peppers with vegan cheese and yummy, all kinds of yummy stuff, and um, desserts that are satisfying but have low calorie, low sugar, low gluten, and you feel good. It's a snack you feel good about eating. You eat it and you don't feel bloated. You don't feel like you did any damage. So great. Keep eating as well as you can. That's a good thing. Choose wisely. But don't get in your head about it. Do the best you can every day. And I'm here to tell you, vibrationally, you're better off to eat whatever you have to eat in order to feel better that day. And I don't mean eating as an addiction. Eating as an addiction is an issue, and it's an issue for many, many people. I'm not suggesting that, hey, Denise said throw caution to the winds and I can eat anything I want as long as I love myself. That's a tricky slope. I wouldn't recommend that. Let me talk about something that occurred to me about 5 years ago, and I've been living by it ever since. It came to me as guidance. Um, I have been up and down the scale. In fact, I've done very well for the last year. I've gone. My maximum range has been 5. Once I got up 8 pounds, and I weigh myself, fairly regularly, but I don't obsess on it. It's just a guidepost for me. It's like I love seeing the numbers not change because I spent so many years going up and down, and my mood would go up and down, and my vibration would go up and down along with what I was weighing. Who I was related to how much I weighed. I have given that up. I am free from that. I know that I'm fabulous just the way I am. And I'm here to tell you, you are fabulous just the way you are. You are a ball of energy created by Source that is perfect just the way you are. You don't have to change anything, but you can choose to change whatever you want. You have free will. And I'm not talking about necessarily choosing different foods as much as I am choosing a new vibration, choosing a new thought, choosing a new overall mind, body, spirit point of view that supports self love and self acceptance. With self love and self acceptance and the right attitude, you can probably eat whatever you want. And eventually, over time, you're going to be eating exactly what's perfect and wonderful for your body. I'm going to tell you how this starts. So, I had gained a bunch of weight 5, 7 years ago. I don't remember. And I was well on my spiritual path and well into raising my vibration. And I said, you know what? I'm not going to punish myself anymore. I'm not going to go on any strict diet and lose 40 pounds in a month and a half and feel great and then gain 60 back within the following year. No more yo-yos, no more depriving, no more. I'm going to just love myself well. This is well, it was at the time my new motto. I'm going to love myself well. I'm just going to love myself. I'm going to love myself. And food isn't going to be any determining factor for me. Weight is not going to be a determining factor for me. I'm on a journey to love myself and accept myself. So since I decided to go on this journey, which is to love and accept myself and to know in my bones and in my heart and in my spirit and in my soul that I am good, I am fine, I am beautiful just the way I am. And if I decide to make changes and at some point I look differently or get lighter or get heavier or whatever, I'm perfect that way too. It's all good. I want to talk about vibration again. I talked a little bit about how food has vibration. So, fresh out of the garden, highest vibration you can get. Okay. What are some of the lowest vibrational foods that you can think of? I'll give you some examples. Fast food, hamburgers from McDonald's or Wendy's. I'm trying not to make a face right now. The reason I'm trying not to make a face is just because I hadn't had one in years and years and years. I was out to eat with my sister and my mom, and my sister got this big fat burger at a fast food place. And I hadn't had one in so long. I thought, I'm just going to taste it. I just want to see what it tastes and how I feel. I took it. Now I do eat meat, by the way. I'm not vegan. I don't eat a lot of meat. I eat very little meat, especially red meat, very, very little, just because I feel better. That I'm not religious about that either. But I took a little tiny bite, and my whole being rejected it. My whole being went, like, no, it screamed at me. It screamed at me, don't eat this. And I had to remove it. I could not chew it. I could not deal with it. My body said no. I'm really glad I had that experience. Now I know once again that fast food burgers are not for me. They don't feel good. They don't make me feel good. I don't think they taste good. They feel like poison. They feel like poison to me. So anything that feels like poison, because I love myself, I'm not going to eat it to the best of my ability. So anyway, if any of you are familiar with Dr. Emoto, he did a lot of different studies on how um, loving and kindness and compassion shown toward inanimate, supposed, which I don't think are really inanimate, objects like water, plants, snowflakes. He did a whole bunch of studies on different things. He had control. So one glass of water or piece of ice would be treated in one way and the other would be treated in the other way. And the one that was ignored and kind of left by itself and not paid attention to did not didn't have any molecular changes, or if it did, it was slightly deteriorated. The water that was loved and said, I love you, and you are life affirming, and you are so vital and so important to me as a human being, and thank you, water, and I love you, water, and showing gratitude to the water, the molecules changed and the water became more vibrant and had higher energy. They tested it. I don't even know how. I'm not a scientist. I'm not going to pretend to know how it all happened, but it did. Talking to plants, you have one plant here and one plant here, and you tell one plant, I don't like you very much, you're not my favorite. I don't think they were really super mean to the plants, but they weren't kind. They either ignored them or said somewhat negative things to the plant. And the other plant, they showered with lovely vibrational words such as love, such as beauty, such as appreciation, such as gratitude. And the plant that was ignored or spoken to without compassion and kindness dies, and the one that was spoken to with great love and kindness and compassion thrived, absolutely thrived. Now, I'm oversimplifying these studies, and I'm not giving good enough credit to Dr. Emoto, but it goes on and on. His studies prove that we, with our energy, with our thought, with our vibration, with our intention, can change the molecular structure of other sentient and non-sentient beings and things. So, how did I choose to love myself, and what does that have to do with anything that I'm talking about right now? And how have I been able to maintain my weight? Well, actually, I've lost some weight since I started this. I've lost 60 or 70 pounds. I've released it. I don't even want to say lost it, because it was a release, and it was very gradual and very slow. And, if I went to a doctor, he'd tell me, oh, you could still afford to lose 30 or 40 more. And whatever, I don't care what he thinks. He can think whatever he wants. Right now, I feel terrific. I feel fine. I have low cholesterol. Well, my cholesterol's on the edge. low blood pressure, no problems with blood sugar. My blood work is great. I'm healthy. My heart rate's great. You know, I breathe great. Everything's great. I have what I need to be a healthy person. So that shows me that I'm doing okay. So I do go to a doctor and get my blood work done now and then just to make sure that all is well. And I also, that's why I weigh myself. It's sort of a diagnostic because if I go up 10 pounds, I'm going to say, oh, okay, love you, Denise. You're all right. You're doing the best you can. Maybe today you can love yourself more. You know, maybe today you can choose love. And by choosing love, that means I accept myself. I'm not going to beat myself up over the 10 pounds. I'm not going to be that plant or that glass of water that gets talked to badly and has the vibration lowered because of such. Imagine if you can kill a plant with words. What are you doing to yourself when you are speaking in a self defeating manner? When you're speaking against yourself, against your own beauty, against your own goodness, against your own value system, against your own behavior. So if your thoughts can kill a plant, what's it doing to your inner self? What are these awful thoughts that, oh my God, I have to lose 30 pounds. I can't stand how I feel. I'm so fat. My clothes don't fit. I'm so ugly. Oh, I hate my double chin. Words like that, I'm sorry I even had to say them, but I had to give a few examples. Those thoughts are like killing the plant. You know, you're killing the, or you're killing the vitality in the water or whatever, like Dr. Emoto showed in his studies. You're doing it to yourself. So how do you start loving yourself about food and weight specifically? How do you start? Where do you begin? Well, it begins with self compassion and it also begins with non judgment of others. So, the problem we have as people, as a society, as individuals, we're really focused on craziness, like what other people look like and who are the supermodels and what do they look like and who are the actresses and what do they eat? What do they eat? Boy, they look great. I want to eat what they eat because they look terrific in my mind. Well, what makes them look more terrific than you or me? Absolutely nothing. So maybe they have super symmetrical uh, features on their face. They were born with this, you know, amazing thing, like eyes the same size, eyebrows that look the same, pretty little noses, whatever. They are a particular type of beauty. It's true. They are. Some of them are gorgeous and wonderful to look at. So am I, and so are you. And it doesn't matter that other people look at you and say one thing or say another thing. What they think doesn't matter. It's what you think. So if you've put on the COVID 15 or 40 or whatever, or if you've been up and down with self esteem issues around food and weight, um, I would suggest that you start today saying, looking in the mirror, it's mirror work. Louise Hay is a big fan of mirror work, and others are too. Start looking in the mirror and saying, you're just exactly perfect the way you are today. And if you can't really mean it, try to find something you can mean, such as, I really do have pretty eyes. Huh. Look for something nice about yourself. Ooh, my skin looks nice today, or I like the color of my hair, or whatever. Start somewhere speaking kindly to yourself. Use your mental vibration and your thought vibration and your attitude vibration to be kind and loving and nurturing to yourself by changing the words that you use toward yourself. Love yourself. Love yourself because you're worth loving. You're loving, you're lovable, you're beautiful, and the external doesn't matter. Now, I probably would not be chosen by some modeling agency to be a spokesperson because they're looking for people with perfectly symmetrical, uh, with maybe a different style than I have or whatever, and that's okay because it's not my motivation anyway. But I think I look at myself and what I see when I look in the video, and this is what I want you to see. I'm saying this because I want you to start to see this. Doing videos has been an amazing boon to my vibration around what I look like. Because you know what I can see, and maybe you can too, I can see a woman who's sincere. I can see a woman who cares about what she talks about. I can see a woman who means what she says. I can see a woman who's passionate. I can see my own warmth. I can see my friendliness. I can see all kinds of beautiful attributes in myself that I could not see before when I did not love who I am and what I look like, when I didn't treat myself kindly. And I have to tell you, to be honest, I punished myself with food, over food, and about weight for many, many years, ever since I was a little girl. And I no longer do that. And guess what? The way I eat has completely changed. And I've exchanged so many foods for healthier versions. I eat so many more leafy greens now. I do I occasionally have something tasty just because I feel like it? Absolutely, absolutely. I if I go to a birthday party, I have a nice chunk of birthday cake, a good chunk, and I don't think anything of it. One of the things that I'm going to give a little credit to Esther Hicks and Abraham for this little piece of wisdom. Um, she taught, and I learned this before I even started listening to Abraham, but she taught it in such a nice, concise way that I'll share it with you. What she says about food is that what you eat is not as important as what you think and how you feel and how and the vibration that you're emitting toward the food and toward yourself. And she highly recommends blessing your food before you eat it. So if you're going to eat a Twinkie or 10 Twinkies, fine. Bless the Twinkies. Find something to love about the Twinkies. Imbue them like you would, Dr. Emoto would with the plants. Imbue those Twinkies with love and say, I love you, Twinkies. I don't eat you very often, but I appreciate that taste in my mouth. And it feels so good when they're squishy and yummy. And oh, I bless you and I thank you. Bless, 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 love, 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 whatever you put into your body, because it changes the molecular structure. If we can change water and we can change the vibration of and the growth cycles of plants with our thoughts, we can certainly change our own selves, and we can change what we're eating, and we can change our own self-esteem the same way. Why wouldn't it work with us? Right? So whatever, this is a recommendation. Do what you want. But I recommend that every single time before you have a beverage or you have a drink of water or a little bit of food or a full meal or a Twinkie or anything else, that you show it some love. And you show yourself some love. And you can say, Denise, you don't eat Twinkies very often, so enjoy this one. Enjoy this Twinkie. Oh, Twinkie, you're so sweet. You're so mushy, and I just think it's going to feel so good in my mouth. I bless you, Twinkie. I thank you, Twinkie. And eat the damn Twinkie. If you have to eat a Twinkie, eat a Twinkie. Eat a potato chip or a bag of potato chips. Eat whatever you have to eat, because you know, the best you can do on any given day is good enough. And then let go of it. Don't think about it. Don't fall asleep going, oh, I ate the Twinkie. Oh, I ate the chips or whatever. Say, I had a good day. I loved myself today. I loved myself. Did the best I could. I did the best I could, affirming myself and treating myself kindly and treating myself with compassion. And let go of worry about weight. Let go of obsessing on weight and on food and writing lists and being, struggling. Anything that you have to struggle for or be in, what's the word, deprivation about, is not going to serve you. Not in the long run. It isn't going to serve you. So when you're in deprivation for a long period of time, yeah, you're going to lose some weight. Are you going to feel happy? Probably not. So a lot of the time. So what's happy for me now? Even though I'm pretty voluptuous, I think I'm fine. I just enjoy looking at myself. I think I'm very pleasant to look at. I don't think I'm a raven beauty. I don't have delusions, But I'm like, you're all right, Denise. So many of you don't feel that way. And I know because I'm a mentor and a coach, and I work with people, and they're like, I can't bear to look at the mirror. And I don't know why I can't stop eating. And then they start having chronic negative self-talk about themselves. That's what I'm talking about. Let's try to stop that. Let's try to minimize that. And anything, of course, trying and efforting is questionable anyway. So let's talk more about accepting and releasing and absolutely believe every day that you do the best you can. Know that whatever you've done is the best you can do. And the best you can do is always good enough. Today you ate your version of terrific. Great. Today you ate something that you may have previously considered less than terrific. Great. Love it. Love it. Send it love and say thank you, and say thank you to your body. The last, I hope it's the last thing. I know I've been going on for a while. I want to talk about your cells. The cells of our bodies are amazing. They are, according to Abraham again, but I believe this to be firmly true. The cells of our body are huge cooperative components to our well-being, and they are amazingly resilient, and they work in conjunction with our vibration, and they work in conjunction with the vibration of source. The cells are the interface. Well, one of the interfaces. There's an infinite number of interfaces, but it's a big interface because the skin and the organs and all that are made up of a lot of water. And in every cell, there's a whole lot of light, a whole lot of energy. Let's call it energy. So if we're feeding our cells by thinking nice thoughts and sending light and love to our cells, then our cells are filling up with that which source is. So every day I try to love my cells because I become more resilient the more I love my cells. My body heals quicker. My body adapts. So say I go on a weekend and I eat a bunch of foods I don't normally eat, and I'm blessing the food and I'm thanking the food no matter what. I'm blessing and loving myself and saying, yeah, you did the best you could today and you were on vacation. Have fun. Enjoy. I get back from the vacation, I still bless and love whatever it is that I'm eating, and I still bless and love me, and I send love to my cells. And the cells readjust, they readjust. They make changes. They work together as there's a whole universe of cells inside our bodies, a whole universe. The universe is in our bodies. All the power and all the amazingness of the universe is in our cells. So when it's the law of attraction at work, once again, so the law of polarity does enter in sometimes, and it makes you think, I'm bad because I eat this. I'm bad because I'm this. I weigh this. I'm bad because this set of clothing doesn't fit anymore. Stop. Stop. You're not bad. There's nothing bad about you. The only thing that's bad is that you're talking to yourself that way. And I'm not even going to judge that because God knows I've done it a million times. I'm not judging. If that's what's happening, then that's the best you can do. So love that. I mean, say, today I don't like myself too much, but I love myself anyway. I may not like myself, but I love myself and I'm doing the best that I can, because you are always doing the best that you can. So the best that you can is always good enough. So know that the cells, after you have a weekend of fun and frolic and food and maybe alcohol, I don't drink, but maybe you do, know that your cells, talk to yourself and say, thank you very much for your resilience. I send you light and love. I love all 70 trillion of you. You're an amazing cooperative component for my well-being. I love you, cells. I love you, cells. And they all work together. I don't even know how it works. I'm no scientist. This is another point I have to make. I can't explain to you exactly how it works, but I have read Greg Braden and listened to Bruce Lipton and the cell biologists and the quantum physicists, and this stuff has all been proven. I've read the stuff, I just can't spit it back. So trust me when I tell you, this has been proven that our cells bounce back when we love them, when we treat our consciousness with love, when our thought life is full of kindness and compassion towards ourselves. our cells just keep on doing what they need to do to help us remain in homeostasis and peace and well-being and balance. Doesn't really matter as much what we put in our food as how we treat what food we put in our bodies, as much as it is what we're thinking and feeling while we're preparing it, while we're eating it, after we eat it. And our bodies, gotta love them. So if you're having a hard time accepting yourself and loving yourself exactly the way you are, just do one or two things a day, such as look at the mirror and find something beautiful about you, something sweet looking about you, something pleasant, something friendly, something pretty, something nice, and find as many as you can and tell yourself you are all right, you are enough, you are good. Because guess what? You're talking to not only yourself, you're talking to your cells, you're talking to your consciousness, you're changing the vibration of your being when you say nice things to yourself. So, I have a whole bunch of techniques for learning how to reverse negative self talk. If you're interested in learning any of that stuff, I know I make it sound simple here on the video, and it takes some practice. These changes do take some practice. But I'm here to say to you, as a woman who's been considered by others to be overweight her whole life, I now consider myself to be A-okay. I'm okay. I'm good. And I love the food that I eat, and I send love to the food I eat. I appreciate the food that I eat. Good, what would be considered good, bad, or whatever by others. And this relationship between you, food, and weight is your relationship. It's nobody else's, and nobody else has a right to have an opinion about it. And if they do, you can say, well, thanks for your opinion, but I've got mine, and we're going to agree to disagree and walk away. Don't argue with it. People are always trying to shove a new diet or a new um, program or an exercise regime or something up down your throat, let's say. I was going to say something nasty. But you get to choose. When you're self-loving enough over time, things you never thought were fun are going to be fun. Who would think that exercising would be fun? Many people think of it as drudgery. Over time, you might find a particular type of exercise that you think is just a blast, and it raises your vibration. Maybe it's a social thing, like a class, at a local gym or a Y, whatever. As you love and accept yourself, new options show up, new ways to cook show up, the right foods that are just perfect for you show up, options that you never thought of come to you, and pretty soon you're just happy about your food and happy about your weight and happy about yourself, feeling well-being. This is a process. So for some it takes a while, for some they catch on quickly. So anyway, I want you to treat yourself as the treasure that you are. And I don't even want to say forgive yourself, because there's nothing to forgive. You have nothing to forgive for eating or weight or any of that stuff. That's all pushed on you from cultural conditioning, old tapes, family issues, family teachings, whatever. That's not even yours. That's not yours. Don't own it. Don't own it. Love yourself and do little things every single day to show yourself kindness. And you're going to, over time, start wanting to make good choices and wanting to eat higher vibrational foods and wanting to move your body in new ways that feel good. The whole purpose for being in this planet is to overcome challenges and be happy, be content with yourself, and be at peace with yourself. That's the journey. So don't let food and weight be a stumbling block. Let it be a source of joy. And know that your body and your mind and your spirit are all on your side, in your favor, and all you have to do is release the goodness within toward yourself. Others don't like it. You really need to learn how to tune that out, because what other people think of you is A, none of your business, and B, is of no concern to you energetically. Energetically, what you think of you is what is important. So I'm going to wrap this up. I'd like to say how much fun this was to talk about. And if you knew me 30 years ago, you wouldn't believe these words were coming out of my mouth. I hated my body, hated so much about me. And because I've made some of these vibrational changes in my thoughts and in my actions and in my beliefs and let go of so much of other people's junk, I'm free to be happy about exactly who I am. It's a beautiful journey. So stay on it. Even if it takes a while, even if change comes slowly, notice the little changes. Enjoy, enjoy, enjoy. Okay, I'm going to leave in the notes in the description my website. I encourage you to take a look at it. It's beautiful, and you can sign up on there. If you go to Channeled Intuitive Readings page, you can sign up and pay, schedule a book a reading and pay right online. Um, and for anything else like mentoring or my program for women in sobriety, that's a new program. You would want to sign up for a discovery call. And we would talk about what it is you're looking for and whether or not I might have something that would be helpful to you. I have a bunch of stuff I would email you, information, portfolios on all the different work that I do. So I didn't do any readings. This was fun. I love readings, but this was different for me. And I hope you love yourself today. I hope you say something nice to yourself today. I hope when you eat, you bless the food and be thankful and grateful for whatever it is. And love yourselves today. Show yourselves some love. There's a little song. I may have done this before somewhere online, and I'm not a singer, not a terrific singer, but I'm going to sing this little ditty and leave it with you. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. Every little cell in my body is happy. Every little cell in my body is well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. I'm so glad every little cell in my body is happy and well. Be happy. Lots of love, much gratitude. Have a wonderful day and speak nicely to yourself. God bless. Goddess bless. Universe bless. Krishna bless. Allah bless. All of the blessings. Infinite blessings. Thank you. Great. Bye.